eUniverse Live is brought to you by the NetFirst MasterCard. Get a MasterCard with no credit check and instant online approval. Find out more at credit.eUniverselive.com. Magic. Oh, hang on a second, that ain't right. Hey, it's eUniverse Live for April 9th, 2001, and it's your good friend, it's your pal, it's your compadre, it's TC, everybody. How you doing today? What's going on the big show today while we're riding solo? We're actually going to recap a number of topics that went down this weekend, including, did you go see any movies this past weekend? I went and saw a movie. I'll tell you what movie I went and saw. Plus, we'll tell you the top 5 movies in the country from this past weekend. Also, there's a little Queen news. Of course, Queen, the legendary band out of England, with Brian May, Freddie Mercury. I know these other two guys' names, but I can't think of them. Oh, well. Anyways, we'll give you a little Queen news. Also, news at NBC. Friends, speaking of NBC, a little news in the air. Courtney Cox doing it up in style this past weekend. And also, a new show coming to NBC that I thought would be kind of interesting to talk about. So, that's all coming up here on the big show today. Coming up tomorrow on the big show, where it's Big Music Tuesday. We'll talk about some of the new releases. On Wednesday, Interactive Entertainment. Thursday, to be announced. We'll see how it goes. Friday, talking movies with Ollie. And then, you guessed it, next Monday, well, you probably didn't guess this, from the new show Grounded with Life. She plays the mom on the show. Smart young lady named Megan Price, who I had a wonderful time talking to, actually, and we'll actually broadcast that interview next Monday. And I got to say, I watched a couple episodes of the show, and it's pretty good. I like it. It's a funny show. There's a lot of crap on TV, and thank goodness this isn't one of them. Got to give Fox some credit for putting out some... they put out some weird and cheesy shows like this Temptation Island, but they also put out a lot of pretty good shows like The Simpsons, I think. I mean, some people would disagree. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. Malcolm in the Middle is a great show. Of course, The X-Files been around for a number of years. I've never really been into it, but I know it's a quality show. And then also now this Grounded for Life, based on the name of it. You wouldn't think it, but it's a good show. Check it out. And so next Monday we'll talk to Megan Price from the show, and we'll find all about it. It's a good interview. Coming up next week, so there you go. Hey, before we get things started today, we got to do it up in style. You know what time it is. Yes. Headlines, making stories, our daily romp through the headlines in the news and the stories that result because of them. Here we go. First story on the agenda today. Ally McBeal star Callista Flockhart is set to be the latest Hollywood headliner to hit the London stage to star in The Philadelphia Story. When reached for comment, Flockhart said, "I'm really excited about London. I've never purged fish and chips." Oh, well. What else is going on? It's been reported that Sean Puffy Combs' trial was Johnny Cochran's last case. So if you're planning to shoot, stab, or murder somebody, you're on your own now. And finally today, President Bush met women executives in the Oval Office. It was a salute to Women's History Month. This is an annual event, but for the first time in 8 years, the ceremony wasn't followed by a race around the desk. So there you go. The headlines. I don't know, kind of a mediocre bumper crop. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd maybe give them a 6 today. So there you go. Headlines making stories heard each and every day right here on the Juggernaut of Love. And hey, and remember, you got still the weird story of the day to come after we finish things up. Hey, before we get to some of the goodies of the day, got to do one thing. Of course, in this internet climate, and things are going kind of tough, and I hope the stock market starts to turn around this week. I think we all need that. I think that would be a nice, refreshing change, especially in NASDAQ. But, maybe times are tight, and maybe it's time now to think about getting a new MasterCard. And there's no credit check. All you got to do is swing by credit.eUniverselive.com. You won't be denied because of charge-offs, no pay, slow pay, no credit. Even if you got bad credit and you need some help rebuilding it, I used to have bad credit, actually, and I've kind of rebuilt it pretty much. And I think I'm up to like an A+ rating or something again, which is good, But, those I better not say that. But, sometimes when you're younger, you make some foolish decisions. That was the case with me. So, there you go. Not too bad of an idea, right? So, swing by credit.eUniverseLive.com. Get guaranteed instant online approval and get your new MasterCard right there at credit.eUniverseLive.com. As a listener to the show, I'd ask you to check it out. Maybe it's for you. And there you go. And you can go from there. So, credit.eUniverseLive.com. Hey, got a link of the day today. There's a new trailer out. While I thought the original movie was pretty good, Rush Hour, hopefully this one will be a little better. There's some pretty good stuff in the teaser trailer. There's actually a new teaser trailer out for Rush Hour 2 starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. I'll post a link at eUniverseLive.com so you can actually check out the trailer and download it if you wish. Not too shabby, right? So there you go. Link of the day right here from the Juggernaut of Love. Hey, did you see any movies this past weekend? I finally went and saw Heartbreakers. And I also got good news. I've been kind of basically complaining about this theater in my area. There's 50, almost 60,000 people living in this two cities that are pretty much right next to each other in northern Arizona, making it, I guess, bigger than Flagstaff now. But we've always had this dumpy theater that they don't seem to know what they're doing, and it's just horrible. When we get into the movie theater this past weekend to go see Heartbreakers, and the movie's out of focus. And I'm like, well, since nobody else apparently is going to get up and do anything, I went out into the lobby and said, hey, the movie's out of focus. And they actually finally focused it. But, that's the kind of stuff. It's just that cheap stuff. And you can barely hear anything because they got the sound down low. And it's just like the smallest theater ever. Anyways, the good news is I got a brand new theater opening up not more than about 5 minutes from me, maybe 10 minutes. 14 seats, 14 theaters, THX sound, the whole spiel. It's going to be excellent. That actually happens this Friday. So I'll probably become a movie junkie here. I'll be talking about movies all the time. But yeah, I went and saw Heartbreakers. Gotta say, I thought it was pretty good. I thought that Ray Liotta, I hated Ray Liotta for some reason. Okay, and I never use the word hate because hate's just too strong of a word. But I did appreciate the talents of Ray Liotta in Hannibal at all. But in this movie, Heartbreakers, I thought he was great. I thought Sigourney Weaver was pretty good. Jennifer Love Hewitt, I don't care what she's doing. She could have been reading a book and she would have been all right. And then, you know what I'm talking about. I also thought Gene Hackman was very good. And Jason Lee, he wasn't his typical scene stealer like he has been in, many of the Kevin Smith movies like, Mallrats and even Almost Famous out on a DVD now. But yeah, Jason Lee was also very good. So I'd give it a thumbs up. I'd maybe give it a 6 rating out of 10. Nothing exceptional because it kind of drags and it's 2 hours long. And yes, I did see Sean Colvin, who was on the show recently. She was actually in the movie. She plays the priest that marries Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jason Lee's characters towards the end of the movie. I guess that might have given away something, but well. Anyways, Heartbreakers actually came in at 6 this past weekend at the top box office receipts chart of love. Number 5, Someone Like You, that Ashley Judd movie. Wasn't that Ashley Judd? Yeah. Still doing pretty good. I finally saw Double Jeopardy recently. And, they pretty much give away the whole movie in the trailer. But, still it was somewhat interesting. Number 4, Pokemon 3, the movie. I actually thought it would open number 1, but no, it didn't. Number 4. Number 3 was Blow, Johnny Depp. I want to go see that in the new theater that I'm getting this coming weekend for the great sound because it looks like it's got a heck of a soundtrack like Black Betty and also Connected by the Stereo MCs. Number 2, Along Came a Spider and Dropped Down Beside Her, Morgan Freeman's new movie from the John Patterson book. And finally, number 1, once again, holy moly, I probably got to go see this. It's supposed to be not only a good kids movie, but just a good movie overall. Spy Kids from Richard Rodriguez, a guy that's made some interesting movies, some very violent movies in the past, but he tones it down a lot in this one, makes it a kids movie, and it's doing quite well for itself. So congratulations to Antonio Banderas and also to, Richard Rodriguez. There you go. All right, what else is going on today? I see that a British pop star, Robbie Williams, will be recording a song with Queen. Of course, Freddie Mercury, the legendary Freddie Mercury, passed away, 10 years ago now. And back in, 92, they held the Concert for Life, the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, and then also to raise money for AIDS awareness. And Queen hasn't really been heard from, obviously, since then. Well, apparently Queen, the founding members of the band, Brian May, and I can't remember their names, the other two guys. They're on the tip of my tongue, and I can actually see them in my mind, and I'm a big fan of the band. I don't know why I just can't remember it today. I want to say Roger Daltrey, but I know that's not it. He's in The Who. Anyways, the three guys and Robbie Williams will be recording a version of their 1977 hit, We Are the Champions, for a new film. It's apparently a one-off thing. There were some rumors that Robbie Williams might actually do a tour with Queen and take over lead vocals. There was, in fact, a lot of rumors that Queen might be hitting the United States this summer to do a tour with Robbie Williams, but the band members deny that and say the band won't continue with just maybe some one-off projects with different kinds of people. So I don't know. Queen are definitely very talented musicians. I love Brian May. I think he's a great guitarist, probably one of the most underrated guitarists in the history of music, but that's the way it goes. I see that NBCI.com, the NBC internet site, which I never liked, I just never understood what NBC was doing with it. It just didn't make any sense as being shut down. Apparently NBC's bought it. Will shut it down and probably just launch their own NBC.com website, which makes a lot more sense to me. Because, you go over looking for, like, shows and stuff, and while it's somewhat easy to find it, but there's so much other junk there. And I'm like, what? I don't care about this stuff. I just want to know about the shows. But anyway, so NBC buys NBC.I or whatever it's called and is shutting it down. Speaking of NBC, I see that Friends, Courtney Cox, gotta love Courtney Cox, and her husband, David Arquette, have purchased a new home in Malibu, according to the Los Angeles Times. What did they pay for it? $10 million. Holy moly, that's a lot of money. Apparently, C-Spot Run, the latest David Arquette movie, did pretty well. Actually, yeah, I know it made actually quite a bit of money. It made, upwards of $50 million. So maybe some of that bonus money from the movie, David Arquette. And, of course, Courtney Cox doing very well. Has never really developed into a movie actress as much as I think she wanted to be. But, of course, she continues to do well with Friends. I know that Lisa Kudrow and what's the other woman? Jennifer Aniston. How can I forget her? Have had some successes in movies, but not a lot. They've never had that really big breakout. Actually, Matthew Perry's probably done the best out of all of them. And then maybe Lisa Kudrow and Jennifer Aniston. And finally, speaking of NBC, they're actually launching a new show, kind of one of these really reality-based shows again. But I think it's kind of interesting. It's called Lost. Of course, they have this, NBC's launching, what is it, this week? That one woman that almost is like Judge Judy. You're the weakest link! Another British show. What is it with Americans these days? We're ripping off all of the shows from Britain. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Weakest Link, and now a show called Lost. Apparently, it's being produced by Conan O'Brien. How about that, huh? Conan O'Brien fame from Late Night with Conan O'Brien. The deal is with this show, they get three teams of 3 people. So you got 9 people total, 3 on each team. One of the people involved is trained to operate a camera. They drop them, I don't know, let's say they're probably going to drop them equal distances with $100 and some, basically, I don't know, minimal provisions to get them through the adventure. And the goal of the show is they got to get back to the Empire State Building however they can, the fastest, and whatever team gets back the fastest wins, basically. And I would assume now they'd have to drop them, like if they're going to drop them like in different points. I mean, maybe they drop somebody in Chicago, Illinois, somebody in Nashville, and somebody like in Jacksonville. And I would assume it, for the sake of integrity, would have all the contestants would have to be dropped at different locations that are actually the equal distance to the Empire State Building. But it sounds like kind of an interesting concept. Apparently it's coming in the fall to NBC. So, of course, there's the Screen Actors Guild potentially may strike, which would mean that writing for shows is put on the kibosh. And that's going to happen this summer potentially. So that's why a lot of these channels and networks are scrambling to add reality-based TV shows in case we have no episodes of Friends, no new episodes of Friends or ER or Malcolm in the Middle or even The Sopranos. Heaven forbid. So there you go. Finally today, our weird story of the day. Oh, this is another interesting one. A 34-year-old man was grabbed at a New York City deli after he sprayed 2 bottles of a urine and feces formula on the salad bar. Oh. Marco Aurelio is suspected of squirting a feces-laced mixture 13 times at food shops on a day-long spree on Friday in New York City. Marco has been ordered to undergo psychiatric tests, so that's interesting. Oh, man. I guess that would be another reason not to live in New York if you don't live there right now. The nut job factor is probably pretty high. So there you go. All right, big show in the book for April 9th, 2001. Back here tomorrow with Big Music Tuesday. Have yourself a wonderful night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sign up at showbizblast.com to get eUniverse Live delivered to your mailbox each and every weekday. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, email us at feedback@eUniverselive.com. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this program without the prior written consent of eUniverse is strictly prohibited. eUniverse Live is a production of the eUniverse Network.
You haven't lost your touch.